Welcome back to Corners of Culture. Are coffee shops the new churches? As usual, I'm not asserting my opinion or what I believe or that this is how I think it ought to be, but rather examining, investigating, and asking lots of questions to see if we can come up with answers together and to hear what people around me have to say. Today we're in for a special treat because I'm actually going to hit the streets and ask people locally to kind of gather some data and some feedback about this idea. But first I want to pose to you, I think coffee shops are functioning like churches in societies. Biblically, the church is a gathering of believers, right? A body of people committed to one idea, committed to a way of life, committed to one another. And to me, coffee shops seem like the new church. I'm not saying that this is a gathering place for people who are religious to have religious activities. I'm saying that nowadays, in our pretty postmodern, increasingly secular world, people treat coffee shops and coffee shop communities similarly to how people have historically treated church. One, there's like a loyalty and a sense of belonging that people attach to coffee shops, right? There's a part of identity tied to which coffee shops we go to. If we're a regular at a coffee shop, you can know and be known by people at a cafe because you're a regular, your barista knows your order, they know what's going on in your life, they know when you have or haven't shown up, just like church. Right? It's people who are rallied around a common idea or way of life. Who are you when you drink this cup of coffee from this place? Who are you when you sit down here for a few hours and you read your book or you open up your laptop or you meet with friends? So much of life, honestly, nowadays is lived in coffee shops. So many hard moments, beautiful moments, first dates, last dates, breakups, grief is held within the four walls of a coffee shop. They're sacred conversations. They almost feel like sacred spaces, depending on who you're with and when and why. Meeting at a coffee shop is a center point in life, and this isn't just in the US, this is in multiple countries around the world. And so I wonder if people have really begun to see their go-to coffee shop, their place, right? Their people in their place, enjoying their way of life. That's pretty much what the church is. And while obviously I'm not saying that we all would consciously worship or idolize our coffee shop, the way of life, the way society functions around coffee shops now, almost mimics that of how people would treat churches. And that's because coffee shops are a third place. They are a place that you want to spend time outside of work or school or home. It's a place to be in community, a place for people to know you and to say hi and have social interaction, a place to be and express yourself, a place to partake in events, right? Especially now that coffee shops are moving into more of just focusing on community and pop-ups and events and concerts and movie nights. It's like, I hate to use this word, but it's tribalism. You're building your tribe of people who are loyal, of people who are consistently showing up, committed to you, committed to this place. It's like church, right? I think there's so much of how a lot of people had seen church as their safe third space, the community of people that they're committed to. I mean, that's how people treat coffee shops. Even if you are a Christian and you are committed to a church, and you might not consciously say, oh yeah, I treat Starbucks or I treat da-da-da-da coffee like my church, but maybe you do, right? If we look at your life on a schedule, we look at your calendar. How often are you at the coffee shop? How much time are you spending there? Who are you meeting with there? Is that where you have some of your most important conversations, most important experiences, meaningful building blocks of your identity and your sense of self? So it's something to think about. For you as a person, how does the role of the coffee shop fit in your life? And how do you see it fitting into society? This is something I've observed and I want to ask more people about. And so now we're going to head to the streets and see what people have to say.
I come here to like hang out with friends sometimes. There's almost like an element of like, I'm gonna find or I'm gonna see people that I know, and it's just good to kind of chat, talk, and have conversations. I feel like life kind of happens here, or like you kind of catch up with life in places like this. I mean, I go to other coffee shops where the same thing kind of happens, but it's a different feeling in those different coffee shops. Or sometimes it's like to go to for different reasons. You see different people at different coffee shops. Or sometimes you see the same people you see here at different coffee shops. And it's like a what? Like two universes, combining.
How important is it for you to feel a sense of community at a coffee shop?
It's not that important for me.
Yeah.
Only because I do have a community outside of like a coffee shop community. For me, it's like a pause of life. Like you kind of come here and like gather together. It's like supplemental almost to like your community or like hanging out or whatever else. Not super necessary, but it is nice. It's enjoyable.
I mean, we as Christians, like, we have a place to, but yeah, maybe other people just don't. So maybe people are expecting to live life. Whereas I feel like the believer is like, we already have life, this is only supplemental.
Yeah.
Maybe people that aren't believers are trying to experience life. Something might happen today if I go to a coffee shop. It kind of just makes you think, like, maybe we can be the people that go up and like make life happen for them.
Okay, well, we've gathered our findings. Honestly, I mean, people go to places consistently. They evangelize, right? They share about the coffee shop and what's new and what to drink and the best parts of it. They invite people there for meaningful moments. Man, I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I have to do this to get my coffee today. I've been that person before. If you're orienting your whole day around something, your budget around something, isn't that worship, right? I think as the world and societies move further away from organized religion, I mean, there has to be something that brings people together for a shared ethos and shared moments. And if it's not going to be the church, of course, in a society where what you buy shapes who you are, in a world obsessed with material goods and capitalism and consumerism, of course the place you go, and the coffee you drink, and the four walls you live in, of course that's like your church. So, I think this one's kind of a spicy topic. I think it'll hit home for a lot of folks. I think it makes me think about the role of coffee in my own life. And yeah, I guess I just want to leave you with that question and strike some conversations. Because usually these corners of culture conversations are great for coffee shop convo, for dinner table convo, for meeting with a friend and having something to talk about to fill the space. So let me know what you think. And as always, here to ask questions, not to give answers. But hopefully this causes you to notice something, to look around, to ask questions, and to pause to think intentionally about how you're living and the world around us. Thanks for listening. Corners of Culture.